very busy weekend in Long Island at Hofstra University.
So there's going to be Princeton ball
6.5.
6.5. So they've confirmed that. They got full field to go. It starts with a goalie, Chronic. Orange 6.5 seconds away from the Final Four. The pass is there. It's on the ground with 2 seconds with 1. Time expires. Syracuse has done it.
Three woo-hoos there, Gary, from Kyle Federle.
I never get to hear the broadcast from Tim and Kyle, but that Kyle does get a little excited there, doesn't he?
I'll finish that because this is a rare opportunity. He actually had 4 woo-hoos to finish the broadcast.
Since 2013.
There it is. Head coach Gary Gait joining us here after a thrilling, not just the game against Princeton, but the last couple of games.
3 in a row.
3 in a row that have become like,
1-goal games.
1-goal instant classic games. It shows up in the headlines all the time. Now, instant classic. And then when I see that headline, I think they must be talking about the last game. But no, they're talking about the most recent game. And what a run and what a ride you guys have been on here.
Oh, my God. It's been crazy. It's been great. This is what we've, been working on for the last 3 years, was putting a team together that could compete and go to championship weekend.
And that's exactly what's happening here. We'll get to the upcoming games this weekend, but going back to the win on Saturday, Jimmy McCool was the man. And I want to say, and I'm just paraphrasing after the game in his post game, he said something along the lines, you got to trust the defense to give him the look that he wants. Something along those lines.
That's essentially what defense is. The goalies get used to. Well, this is where the guy's going to get the shot from. This is where the guy's going to get open. So they have an understanding where it's coming from. So I think that's what he's talking about. And, he made those last 2 saves, and it was great. It was awesome.
It was spectacular goalkeeping.
Yeah, it percentage-wise, both goalies had 13 saves. We had with 19 goals, they had 18. But they wouldn't say that those were their greatest performances, but I thought the shooters were unbelievable, and those were tough shots to stop. But you know what? Jimmy made those last 2, and that's what makes you, gives you those opportunities to win those 1-goal games when your players step up and make big plays.
And speaking of that, Joey Spallina, who's always been a big player, 8 points, 4 goals, 4 assists.
He was home on Long Island. He was feeling it, so it was awesome. He played great. He really did. He always wants to play great, but he wants to win more, and that's what I like about Joey. He'll do whatever the team needs to have success, and he was winning his matchup, so he's green light all the way.
And Princeton, from their end, as advertised, and I know the head coach of Princeton is a very good friend of yours.
My son played for him, Matt Madelon, and Coach March actually coached my son at Princeton with him.
Oh, boy.
So Coach Madelon and Coach March were, worked together for a few years and certainly very close. So it was an interesting matchup. I was talking to him before the game, and he said, well, this is the first week I haven't talked to Coach March every single day. And so there was no communication all week between those two, and that's kind of strange. But, we got to the field and we just battled, and we were lucky we put the last one in and were able to get those stops.
Well, it's great, as you said, the last 3 games in a row, but the game Saturday, with what was on the line, obviously, a trip to Foxborough, just amps up all the anticipation and the excitement. And you heard it when I played the play-by-play there, when Princeton kind of lost the handle at the end there. Like, whoa, it's on the ground. We're going to win this game.
Yeah, until it happens, you just, I don't know if we were offside or not. That gave them the ball back. I'm pretty sure we were not.
Yeah.
I haven't even had a chance to go look at that clip yet, but I'll do that this morning. But, we just wanted to make it more exciting.
Mission accomplished. And the crowd there at Hofstra, just good, loud.
Great crowd. They had a record crowd yesterday down in Annapolis, so hopefully that means that this Final Four will get back to some record-type attendance. It's been down a little bit the last few years, since COVID, and we want to kind of get back to that 50,000 mark and try and get lots of people there. So Foxborough's a great place to play.
Well, I know it's been good to SU over the years.
Over the years, and actually, I've coached there once. I took the women's team up there once, and we played Harvard in the stadium. We did a doubleheader with, I think, Army and somebody else on the men's side, and the people at Foxborough were great, and they put on the event, and so I have a little bit of experience there, and I also guest coached in the PLL All-Star game up there one time. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's the 2:30 game this coming Saturday, but as far as fans, tickets, like what do people need to know right now?
You know what? We have our call today. They haven't really sent us any info. They sent us the hotel name, and that's it so far. So we get all the info today. But you just go online, you'll find tickets, NCAA Lacrosse, and they'll be available.
So head coach Gary Gait of the SU men's lacrosse team, Final Four bound. Lisa live from the loft at the home office here.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell Gary that we listen to the post-game press conferences, and just to hear you talk about your players and, win or lose, you do the best post-game press conferences, and just talking about it now, I'm trying to maintain composure. You choke me up. I really feel I feel you when you're doing it. You make me want to cry. I'm so happy for you.
Oh, well, thank you.
And the way you love your players and you love the game, it really comes across in the post game.
Oh, I appreciate that, because I do.
They're
I
so
love my
great.
players. I love the game. I'm very thankful every day I get to go to work and coach lacrosse. Who would have thought?
Isn't it? It's not that, whoever said it, however many years ago, find something you love doing that much, and you'll never work a day in your life, and you are living that.
I am living that, and if I would have said you're crazy when I was here in college, you said, "Hey, one day you'll be coaching this team." I would have said, "What? Is that even a job? like, what are you talking about?"
Like you get paid to do this? No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
No thought of that. When I finished up at Cuse, no thought of going into coaching. It just kind of. Yeah. I did some coaching in high school, but I didn't think about it again because I was so busy playing, and then it just fell in my lap down in Maryland, and I started coaching women's lacrosse.
What was, if not for lacrosse, when you were still in college, what was plan A, or what would you have done had you not ended up?
Well, my first job offer was actually from the university.
From Syracuse?
From Syracuse University. They offered me a job in development, fundraising.
Okay.
I was like,
I'm not your guy.
I'm like, I need some warm weather. I'm moving south. So I did. I moved down to Baltimore. And they said, well, if you don't want to do it in Syracuse, how about New York City? So I'm like, I'm not ready for that. I'm a kid from the West Coast. I'm not ready for the Big Apple. So I got married and moved down to Baltimore with my wife. And he got into sales to start. Lasted 9 months and got all my paperwork sorted out for a green card. And then I was able to get involved in lacrosse after that.
Wow. Well, good for you. We're happy that worked out.
Yeah, worked out great.
You are too. I mean, good for you.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's been a fun ride so far.
And speaking of Maryland, obviously the next opponent for you, and kind of both games next weekend. Cornell's got a little revenge as Penn State's the only team that beat them this year, and they're facing them in the other game, and then a chance for you guys to avenge against Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland, it's a crazy story, but I was working there, obviously coaching women's lacrosse, and I'd been working with the AD when the then men's coach retired. She suggested that I would be the next head coach there for the men down there, and it didn't work out, so I left Maryland. That's why I got out of coaching women's lacrosse down there, and that was the reason why. Because, she told me one thing, it didn't work out, so I moved on.
Okay, that's life. Right?
And that's probably the only reason I'm here now. That I left Maryland and I didn't get the men's job down there, so I went out and started coaching professionally, started a couple businesses, and moved to Denver and was doing all this great lacrosse stuff, coaching professionally, internationally. And then, all of a sudden I got talked into coming back here. Well, I get back here and they let go their coach. So it was about 7 years after I was, had left Maryland.
Uh-huh.
And the alums called me up and said, okay, we're going to get it right this time. And we want you to come down and coach. And then it was my turn to say, no, I'm home at Syracuse. So I'm not going. So
Good for you.
So I had the opportunity again to look at the job at Maryland, and I turned it down for my family and my kids.
Well, good
Aww.
for you. We're happy that
Yeah.
And it all worked out. Here I am coaching men's at Syracuse, so nothing better than that.
Isn't life funny like that?
It is.
And
It
you
just
headed to the
works
Final
out.
Four.
And we're headed to the Final Four, match up with Maryland. It's going to be awesome.
Doesn't get any more exciting than that. Head coach Gary Gait. Well, Gary, it's a whirlwind weekend. When will you head out to Massachusetts for Saturday's game?
We'll head out Thursday. Yeah, we'll get on the road Thursday. We'll get a practice on Friday somewhere. This is a unique one. It's only happened, I think, one other time in Foxborough where they hosted the men and women together.
Ah, okay.
So you have the normal men's championship with the D2, D3 championships on Sunday, semifinals on Saturday, and Monday the championship. But then you add in Friday and Saturday with the women.
Wow. That's a lacrosse lovers
Friday
heaven
and
right
Sunday,
there.
sorry, with the women. So now you got, just another group. We're all on the same field. So I'm assuming that we're going to be using the practice facilities to get practice and walkthroughs
That's true.
in with that many teams. So it should be interesting. But I'll find that all out today in the call.
Would it be one of those things, too, where there's so many teams, men's and women's, in the same location that maybe one team, their practice might be like at a local high school venue or that kind of
I'm
thing?
assuming we'll get access to the practice facilities of the football program there. The football team.
Yeah.
The Patriots,
The
whatever you want to call them. I'm hoping I assume that's what it is. It's right there. So
Exciting stuff. Head coach Gary Gait. Gary, congratulations. We're thrilled for you and the program and the guys and the team. And it is, you can tell when you're talking with the players, just the passion that everybody has for what you're all doing out there. And it's just great to see that.
yeah, we got one game in front of us right now, and that's all we're focused on, and give ourselves a chance.
Gary Gait, coach, go Orange. Good luck on Saturday, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you guys.